the kangaroo conversation. We don't need to revisit the kangaroo conversation. I think you're underestimating how fucked up you'd get if a kangaroo kicked you every week. You'd die. It wasn't even that I had to fight a kangaroo. It was that a kangaroo would kick you every week. You'd die. There's no need to revisit it. The answer is you'd just die. There's no winning. There's no surviving a kangaroo kicking, even a medium kangaroo kicking you every week. I don't know why you think anyone would survive that. No one can survive that. Anyway, that's my little rant done. You would die. Yeah, it would be like, if you survive the first week, great. There's a kangaroo waiting for you next week. You would die. I think you don't understand how much damage kangaroos do.
Sure remedy for a sicken.
You couldn't survive a kangaroo kicking you every week. I don't think you could survive, like, I don't know, even a small kangaroo. If they kicked you every week, you're dying. Like, you're not surviving that. Yeah, kangaroos are fucking strong. There's no way anyone is surviving getting kicked by a kangaroo weekly. Not even like as a one-off, I'd say no, because I'm not fucking crazy. I have no idea if it is kangaroos that Australians lost a war to. Probably. Was it not emus or something? I don't know. Oh yeah, it's like weirdly common for Americans to think they could beat an elephant. Let me get my phone. I don't know what to search for this, but let's see if I can find the stats for everything. What should I search? American, UK, animals you could beat? Right. First of all, I think Britons are more realistic in some aspects. Some of this is stupid. Elephants might be friendly, but if an elephant wants to fight you, you're not winning. So 13% of Britons think they could beat a large dog, and 5% think they could beat a kangaroo. Get fucked. I think the 4% that think they could beat a wolf don't understand how big a wolf is. Okay, anyway, that's still pretty fucking shocking. Of those, men are more confident than women. Out of Brits, that they could beat all of those things. Which, absolutely mental. Let's look at the American versus UK stats. 8%. 8% of Americans that were in this survey think they could beat an elephant in a fight. 8% of Americans think they could beat an elephant in a fight. Man, 8%. 14% of Americans think they could beat a kangaroo. 12% think they could beat a wolf. 9% think they could beat a crocodile. 8% think they could beat a gorilla. 8% think lion. 8% think elephant. 6% think grizzly bear. You're one of them? You're wrong. You cannot beat an elephant in a fight. Funnily enough, statistically, from this study, it's American women that are the most confident they could beat a lion in a fight. What training does the elephant have? It's an elephant and it'll crush you. That's what it's got. That's the training the elephant's got. I'm gonna say as well, I don't think it matters how much training you've got. Unarmed, you're not beating an elephant. I'm sorry, even armed, you're not beating an elephant. If you can climb, I think you're wrong, and even if you can climb the elephant, they're not done for $1 billion. The deadliest animal I would hop into the ring to fight. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I could really beat a goose in a fight. I feel like goose is my limit. Genuinely. Let me look at this list, okay? It's got rat. I think I could beat a rat in a fight. House cat, I could, but why would I want to? A goose is on there. I think a goose, realistically, is my limit. I think me and a goose, pretty fair fight. Actually, that's another thing. Way too many people are confident that they can beat a goose in a fight. Have you met a goose? Those things are mean and they fear nothing. You walked up to a raccoon. See, okay, I can't be trusted. There are many reasons I don't want to live in America, and I'm so happy that I'm not an American. One of the more, shall we say, obscure reasons is I would get rabies so fast because what do you mean I can't pet every raccoon that I see? What do you mean they're not friends? And I would get rabies like immediately. So I think that's a major reason that I shouldn't be allowed to live in Australia. Not Australia, but also Australia. I would get rabies. I feel like Australia. Why do I feel like you'd be more likely to get rabies in America than Australia? It's why I shouldn't live in America. I would get rabies. Matt, I would go up to random fucking raccoons. No, there are no raccoons in the UK, and rabies isn't a thing here. Like, technically, if you get bitten by a bat or something, you need to get rabies shots, but rabies is not in the UK. And there are also no raccoons. I would go up to every single raccoon and try to pet them. And I would get rabies. So, and nothing would stop me either, is I saw a rat out in the street a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, that rat needs help. And I tried to help this rat. That was fine, by the way. The rat was just wet. I was like, I need to help this rat. I would see an animal with rabies, and I wouldn't think, oh, it's got rabies. I would be like, oh, it needs help. And I would get rabies, and I would die.
Can't afford to let up.
So, that's... yeah. Like, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. No, animals with rabies.
Not going to last much
I
longer.
think they do need help. Look, I'm just saying, if I lived in America, I would get rabies, like...
One can't always
I don't
be a
know,
gentleman.
like day 2 or something, I would see a raccoon and I'd be like, it is my job to feed and care for these raccoons. And I would get rabies. They would bite me and I would get rabies. And I would die. Or maybe I would be one of those, what is it, literally 2 recorded cases of people surviving rabies. And then I would get it a second time and then I would die. You know? Like, that's the kind of faith I have in myself. And getting rabies.